Hey everybody. So this is like basically an emergency broadcast. Okay, it's not an emergency. Calm down. But I posted a video about Detective 27 that the seller lost like $600,000 or something like that between buying it and then reselling it for a significant loss. And I speculated that that was the largest dollar loss in comics. But I said in the video that I haven't researched this entirely, and it was possible that I would find losses that were bigger. And so, thanks to a couple of YouTube commenters, I love you guys already. I've just started the channel, just a few months ago, and I still have people, I already have people interacting with me, giving me information, correcting stuff when I make mistakes, which does happen. And I'm the first person to admit that I'm not perfect. So, in fact, I always lead with it. I'm like, well, I don't know everything. But anyway, so we have two examples. And I'm going to start with, and then I got a note from one of my friends on the CGC forum um, about the book that I'm going to talk about first. And I can explain why I didn't see either of these, right? And I'll do that with each one of them. So I'm going to start with this one. So Comic Link doesn't report to GPA, and Comic Link's archives, while they exist, and you can in fact go through auctions to find things that sold in the past, it's not easy. And so I need like a weekend basically to just sit. Maybe if I'm snowed in, I need a weekend to just sit and look at Comic Link's auction archives from maybe 2022, 2021, middle of 2021 to now to get some results. And so I missed this one, and I just have had the Comic Link homepage open, ready to either preview one of their auctions because they do sell great stuff, or to go through and actually do this kind of research, which I haven't done and I need to do because it'll fill out many sales that I'm missing in the current $100,000 club list. And so I knew that this book sold at some level, but I never put two and two together because I hadn't actually done the research. So it's been up on the screen. Spoilers. It's a Tales of Suspense 39, CGC 9.8. It sold for $2 million, and I believe this was in June of September 2023. So private placement sale, $2 million. Okay, that's crazy. That's a big amount of money. It's highest graded one of one of Tales of Suspense 39. I didn't look at that sale and go, that's a crazy number. But because I hadn't actually like taken this sale and put it into my data and then like looked at my data in site, like on the site, and like put two and two together, I didn't realize that this book, which sold for $2 million in September of 2023, which is not that long ago, was somehow flipped. They wanted to flip it within months at Heritage. Flip? They're going to flip this book? This is a whale of a book. This is one of one. First appearance of Iron Man. One and only 9.8. It's not like anybody that's in the market for this book is not going to know that you just bought it for $2 million. And it sold for $840,000, which is a $700,000 hammer price plus the 20% buyer's premium minus whatever seller's commission this person paid. So like I've said before, I've heard that, they'll waive the seller's commission for certain books. They may have done that. So at the very best, and I don't know that that's real. Again, I'm not at that level with Heritage at all. So, but that's the rumor on the street, is that if you're a big whale collector, you can get that seller's commission whittled down pretty low at least. But assuming that that's the case, they didn't pay seller's commission. They're the biggest whale in the room at that time. They still got $700,000 for a book that they paid $2 million for. So they lost $1.3 million on this flip in months. From September 2023 to April 2024. And the thing is, to get into a Heritage signature auction, they must have had to buy the book and immediately contact Heritage and be like, yeah, I want to sell this right now, because the auction schedule is such that it's for sale for a month before the Hammer date, and they have to put it into the catalog. So they must have had to get this book down to Dallas in January of 2024 to sell it and lose $1.3 million. So that's a tough one. So the other one that I saw, I had actually seen that this book, Superman number 1, CGC 7.0, had sold for a slight loss. So I had already seen this. And so it sold at Comic Connect for $2,604,750 in December of 2021. And then I saw, because both of these are reported in GPA, it eventually sold at Heritage in this year, January 11th, 2024, for $2,340,000. And with the buyer's premium, this is actually close to, they probably got around $2 million for this book, right? Something like that. So it's close to that Detective 27 in terms of dollar value loss. But I erred on it being the other one, just because I guessed at it. I guessed that they had, the seller's commission is much less likely to have been whittled down to nothing versus a $2 million book, etc. And I was like, I think that other book is the one that had the biggest dollar loss. Although this one was close, right? But the thing is, so I knew that this Golden Auctions existed, and I knew that they had a Superman number 1 for sale at some point. Like, somebody had sent me a link, and this was kind of in the period where I wasn't paying much attention. So this was in 2023. I was busy with some other things, and so I kind of knew, but it's not in GPA. So like, my research just didn't spit this book out. And so I didn't realize that this book was the Comic Connect book. So this book was bought for $2.6 million, and then it was sold just a couple of years later, and they got, and again, I don't know what the pay scale is at Golden, so I don't know what the seller's commission is, but the Hammer price from which the seller's commission would be taken is $1.35 million. So this one is an absolute bloodbath. Okay, $2.6 million, you make back at most $1.35 million. And so I think that beats, again, I don't know all of the vagaries of the seller's commission, so I can't, but I'm guessing that this beats the Tales of Suspense number 39, which lost, $1.3 million. So this is, again, a $1.25 million loss, depending on what they paid for seller's commission. And then whoever bought it did really well. So it was months later. They flipped it for, so they bought it in June, and they flipped it at Heritage and made, what, $400,000 off the top, real quick. So that's not bad return over 6 months. So, but yeah, this was a, and the thing is, like, when somebody said that Golden Auctions had a high-grade Superman number 1, it was like, what is Golden Auctions? Why would you go to them with this book? Like, I'm not registered there. I mean, I'm not a buyer on a high-grade Superman number 1, but, like, I'm not even registered there. Anybody that's going to buy $1 million comic is already a customer of both Comic Connect and Heritage. And they know who everybody is. They know the people that, like, aren't active, aren't, like, public, right? It's like, that's their job, is to know who those buyers are. Does Golden know who every one of those buyers is? I just, it seems like it was just a crazy place to auction that. And actually, it turned out to be true, right? It absolutely took a bath. And I don't think that I think the $2+ million sales are where this book deserves to be. I don't think it's anywhere near $1.6 million for this book. Because it's Superman number 1. This is one of the best copies you're going to see. So thanks to the commenters here on YouTube, friends on the CGC forum, and for filling in the holes that I had in my recent history. And yeah, I got that information like rapid fire after I published that video, and I wanted to just like set the record straight and share a couple of really pretty bad results. I swear I'm not going to do this all the time. I am, in fact, going to go back to talking about books that have done really well. Because that's more fun for me. But this is fascinating. Like when, like you really have to think about like what is the circumstances of this series of events, right? And it's all just speculation, and I don't know anything. But it is kind of crazy to see some of these results. And we are, in still in the grips of, this kind of really hyped up period where prices were inflated just because of like exuberance for collectibles. And, some of this stuff is still going to shake out for a little while. So I feel like, maybe we're mostly past it, but, not entirely, obviously, because both of these stories had endings that came in 2024. So, yeah, that's it. I'm going to be back on Thursday or Friday with the final uh, world record comic book progression video, and then onward and upward from there. So thanks once again for checking out my videos. As always, like and subscribe, share with your friends, comment, let me know what you think. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Or at the end of this week. Bye.